v.17 and welcome back to Factorio. Having a little bit of trouble with the streaming lately, so I'm actually going to switch over to doing some pre-recorded episodes on this map, at least for the remainder of this map, and probably for the next one as well. But I think we'll have a quick tour around the factory just to see where we're up to, and then we'll start building out this factory. Primarily on this playthrough, I'm just looking to work my way through all the technologies and come up with designs for the science packs. I've done most of them, I think. We'll have a quick look at the factory and see what we need to do. That's the entire factory as it stands at the moment. We've got a defensive wall around the outside. And we've got obviously the aliens are turned on this map. Haven't had too much trouble with them because we've kept the defenses up and running most of the time. Science pack wise, let's have a quick look. I might actually put some radars in here as well. Yeah, because we do have radars in our inventory, so let's put a few radars in here. I want to actually go through and do a redesign on the factory here just to make it a little bit cleaner as well. I just recently got my power armor and robot ports up and running, so doing redesign work should be fairly easy, I think. Science pack wise, greens there, reds and greens are pretty simple. I'm trying to switch the science packs over to a sort of similar concept for all the science packs. This yellow science pack here is probably a good indication of the style that I want to move towards, which is to have each component on its own separate row. So you have the science at the top and then you have all the components with its own separate row, and some components you actually need to break them down even further, like flying robot frames. You need to actually break that down to engines, regular engines, and then gears. It's probably not the most compact way to do it, but I think as far as the actual being able to understand what's going on and what components are going to build the science packs, it's probably the easiest to understand. So I'm probably going to switch the other science packs over to something similar to that, I think. Military science and purple science are pretty similar. That's blue there. Blue's actually very simple now. Blue science. I'm actually using direct insertion there, so I'm not sure if we'll switch that over. We'll have a look. So I think it's close to a 1-to-1 ratio for blue science. 2 engine units, 24 seconds, 10 seconds, yeah. It's actually less than 1-to-1. That works pretty well. The only reason why I would not have direct insertion on something like that is so that I can actually keep the inputs all coming in on one side and then leave one side for outputs. But I think we'll do a little bit of cleanup work here. What I want to do is actually empty out a coal patch at the very top of the map here. At the very top of the factory there's a coal patch that I'm waiting to clear up because I want to rearrange the smelting operation. And we're still waiting for the coal to clear out. I want to keep doing research so we keep consuming coal, but I don't think we're going to be able to consume coal quickly enough there. Yeah, what can we do to actually space this out a little bit more without moving that coal, I wonder? We could probably move the power here somewhere else. Get rid of that. We could probably move, we could do land filling up there, move this power to, do we have any other water inside? We've got water up here, so I could put the power up to here, land fill in those, and then actually move the smelting up into this area instead of the, oh, there is this patch as well, and this stone as well. We could have it offset, I suppose. We could put the smelting over to the side a bit. We don't have to have it directly in line with the bus, although I usually do like to have it in line with the bus. Let's have a look, see how much copper we've got left. Maybe there's not much copper left and we're almost done with that. Where is it over here? Actually, we've got a leftover defensive wall from the early stages of the game here. So yeah, I'm switching over to recorded episodes for the rest of this map at least. You can find the previous episodes of this as recorded streams, but I'll probably keep the numbering and add all these to a playlist as well. Some of this can be cleaned out, I think. Did we not keep that deconstruction planner? Or is there a shortcut? Alt D, okay. We don't actually keep a copy of the deconstruction planner anymore. Okay. Makes sense. It's actually getting pretty close to this patch, I think. It's actually getting closer than the coal. 28k, and we're going to have to get more stone plugged in as well. So down there. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to move this power plant. See if we've got some... Actually, I can probably just do the move straight up. I don't need to do anything too fancy there because we do actually have a fairly decent size block of solar power to give us power. We don't need to worry about keeping this for power, so well, let's just disconnect it from here. We may actually disconnect solar power for a second just to consume the coal that we've got on that belt there. Where's the connection over here? Yeah, we're just going to go for a little while. Let's see if that actually reactivates that power plant. I'm pretty sure we don't have enough power from this power plant to supply the base. We're probably going to see a power shortage here. Maybe. Maybe we can do a research that uses more science packs. Because we've got everything online, I think, except space science. Let's double check that one more time. Oops. Yellow, purple, blue. I think that's it, isn't it? The only thing that remains now is space science. So we can switch over to something that uses all the science packs to get that. Energy weapons, let's do that instead and get rid of these ones. We'll go back to those later on. I want to do something that uses as many science packs as possible. Still meeting demand. Surprised. It might take a little while. There might be some processes that are already backed up with resource and then take them a little bit of time to activate. We're still using coal for smelting as well, which we could probably switch over to electric smelting, I suppose. I might wait until we've got a little bit more solar power online. I'm probably going to use solar power for the majority of this playthrough. I'm not sure if I'm going to bother with nuclear power at all. Okay, so all that coal is run out now, so let's go and reconnect the solar power. It's fairly important that we keep the power connected because we're actually dependent on laser turrets for the defense. And Alt D, we actually need to make some landfill here, so let's just do that right here. The robots are still kind of slow. I think I've maxed out all the speed that I can do for the worker robots. And actually, that's cargo size. Yeah, we need space science before we can do any more increases in speed. Still better than building stuff manually, I suppose. And fill. And we'll output those to a belt. Let's do a few of these. We get a few stacks of landfill here pretty quickly. I'm probably not going to worry too much about upgrading to express belts on this playthrough. Most of the design concepts that I want to work out for this map are the kind of things that I want to use for future maps just to get them started quickly. So the science designs that I want to use, I want them to be easy to understand and also be relatively quick to build. But we'll dip into that a little bit further later on, I think. Once I've got the bus cleaned up a bit. This stone is not going to be enough. Can we speed that up at all? Maybe a little bit. Yeah, this stone patch doesn't have much further to go either. We actually do need a bit of stone now because we need stone walls for... Are they called stone walls or brick walls for the military science? Just wall. Yeah, I'm not going to get that landfill very quickly, am I? This iron patch is completely dead, so we can pick that up as well. All that. Do I still have... Ooh, I must still have a mod installed to do that. I might actually uninstall that. I might do that between videos here. I've actually got, unless they've added it to the vanilla game, I thought I disabled all the mods. Let's have a quick look. We have to, mod settings. Okay, so they've added that to the vanilla game. I'm happy with that. I used to have a mod installed to actually enable construction robots to carry cliff explosives. I'll double check between videos just to make sure that I don't have any mods installed. Okay, let's reinstall this power first before we get too far in there. Also, let's grab how many cliff explosives we have left. Let's grab some more cliff explosives so we can actually get rid of those cliffs while we're up there. So I think I've got a huge pile of cliff explosives saved up. Yeah, probably more than I'll ever use, at least for this playthrough. Get rid of that as well. We're not going to worry about that teeny tiny little patch of iron. I should actually make some poison capsules as well, which is a good way to get rid of trees. And yeah, we'll just go straight across from here. This is really only backup power because most of my power is going to be coming from solar eventually. Well, it's actually probably most of the power is already coming from solar, I guess. Let's do it like that. And it's 20 of those, which I don't think I've actually got 20 installed at the moment. No, 17. So we can actually expand that a little bit further, which we will do actually. We'll grab some resources in a minute and do that. And also, remember we do have construction robots now. Excellent. Just needing a belt of coal coming up there. I think that should be fine. Just need to put the inserters in as well. This is really only backup power. And then inserters. I suppose we'll use fast inserters. You only really need to use just the basic inserters for this. Okay, coal power is reinstalled. Still waiting on this to finish. I don't think making this coal go on both sides of the belt would actually speed that up at all. But yeah, we're going to move smelting up here, so let's see how much landfill do we have. Should be enough to cover up this, I think. Yeah, nice. So what we're going to do, I'm going to get a rough idea of where we want the bus to be, so I'm going to leave a space in the middle for roboports. Let's go the whole way up. I should probably go through and replace some of these slow belts with fast ones as well, I suppose. Remnants of something, I don't know what that was. Get rid of all this. What is that belt from? I think that was iron. So yeah, we need to probably source some more iron. Actually, no, that's fine. I already did that in the previous stream, I think. We've got 2 belts of iron coming in. We can just get rid of this splitter and run it directly into the belt now. Yeah, so we're going to have a string of roboports up the middle of the bus. I'm going to build out to a maximum of 4 iron. Do I want to go for 4 or 8? I might go for 8 instead. Not sure. Because if I want this factory to be a blueprint for future factories, a factory that's only got 4 copper and 4 iron belts can't really produce science or any resource very quickly. So we had like copper and iron, just 4 belts of each. I think we might change that to 8 belts of each. Okay, so I've just gone to the Kirk McDonald Factorio calculator, and it looks like we can probably get to about 70 signs per minute with under 8 belts of resources, under 8 belts of copper and iron plate. It's interesting, it looks like the amount of copper that you need has actually gone up. So it's actually, used to be you needed more iron than copper, but it looks like you actually need more copper than iron now, which is interesting. So we need, if we go for 70 signs, it actually works out to be 7.2 belts of copper and 6.7 belts of iron. And the other resources we need are going to be coal, 1.6, so we'll have 2 belts of coal. What else? Plastic. We're probably going to make that centrally and then distribute it, I think. Are we out of belts? No, okay. So 2 belts of coal. Actually, we'll go coal, steel next. 1 belt of steel. It's actually 0.6, so 1 belt of 1 fast belt's going to be more than enough. And the numbers I'm working on here are based on fast belts and assembly machine 2s as well, which are both fast belts and assembly machine 2s are accessible fairly early on in the game. Now let's actually grab some of these resources so I can actually know what I'm doing here. Steel. Let's grab a little bit more steel. What else do we need? Stone. We'll do the plastic. We need circuit belts as well, so we'll have a look at those. We'll grab some of these. And some steel. I think I've got plastic in my inventory, do I? Nope. At the moment I'm making plastic as a part of red circuits. I'm not sure. So we do need a bit of plastic, but the plastic that we need is, most of that's going to be going to red circuits. I don't know. I think it saves some space in the bus not to have plastic in the bus. But if we do have plastic, let's put it over here for now. We need to have a total of 2 belts. Can I pick up just that piece, please? Can we... yeah. And what was the other one? Stone, which is probably just going to be... oh, well, that may actually be more than 1 belt now, stone. 0.9, it's just under 1 belt. We have to remember as well, if we want to make other things apart from science, then we need to have a little bit of this stuff left over for making other things. Although we could always just deactivate science if we want to actually build other things. I think that's the main things we need. I'm probably going to build on both sides of the bus as well. The question is, which side do we want to put those resources on? And also we need fluids, so we'll leave some space for fluids as well. Which we'll put in a separate section of 4. Circuits is the other thing we needed. Green circuits, we need 2.9, we might as well make that 4. Green circuits. Red circuits is just 1. Blue circuits is 1 as well. The other question is, do I want to put gears on the bus? It's only 0.2 of a belt of gears that I need for the entire factory running at 70 signs per minute, so I don't know if it saves much space on the bus to convert the iron to gears early on and then belt it through. I think we'll just leave gears as on-site production. Anything else? That's about it, plus fluids. So it probably makes sense to put these two over the other side. and then maybe put the fluids over this side instead. That's a lot wider than the current bus we've got, so yeah, can take a bit of shifting things around here. What we need to do is actually consume some of these resources we've got in here as well. It doesn't look like anything's happening as well, so let's have a quick look. What's going on with the science here? Science is completely stalled, so there's one of the science packs that's actually stopped working, I think. Blue science. Missing what's red circuits. Copper's good. It's got to be petroleum, that's the problem. Yep. I did actually connect up some extra oil in the previous stream, and it looks like something's backed up. Oh, I got rid of the tanks for to control the cracking, is the problem. Well, let's put those... We're going to have to move this pretty soon anyway, but we'll reinstall these. And reconnect the circuits. I've just got circuits controlling the cracking process. There's pumps that are feeding water into the cracking, and when the capacity of these tanks gets above a certain level, then it deactivates the pump sending water into cracking processes. Reach. And that should reactivate the cracking. Now, it won't crack at the moment though, because these pipes are empty. That should reactivate the petroleum though. We should see red circuits start flowing and the science reactivate here, I think. Yeah, there we go. So what we're going to do, I'm going to disconnect these smelting operations and empty out the resources as much as we can, and then we're going to shift them up to the top there. So we've cleared out a bit of space at the top of the bus here. We're going to start moving these smelters up. What I'm going to do, I've made a little bit of a diversion in the coal line here as well, back here. The coal that was feeding into the coal power plant up the top here was actually coming through this side, and I've just shifted it over here. So we've cleared out all this space in here, and we're going to move the smelting up to the top. It's probably not too important where the smelting goes, because I mean, in the long term on a map, you're probably not sticking with smelting actually in the factory. Probably, well, personally, I would switch to on-site smelting eventually. But I think we can use this design pretty much and just shift it directly up to the top. Let's have a look. For steel furnaces, I think this is the correct number that we need to smelter full, but although it might be slightly different now that the fast belt capacities have changed a little bit. So this is going to be the end of the edge of the bus right here, and over this side it's going to be over here. I'm just going to leave a little bit of space between the edge of the bus and the smelting. I'll try and get it fairly high up as well. The little patch of stone we've got here is just about done as well, so I've got some beacons in there, just trying to get that one cleared out a little bit quicker. Let's copy that furnace setup again. The copy paste tool is nice, but I sometimes forget that it's not a blueprint. So where do we want to put this? We want to be able to potentially fit 4 in. 1, 2, 3, 4 maybe. So we'll put it basically as high as we can go to about here somewhere. And what we'll do is we'll try and get so much of this we can build. I'll try and get most of this built, and we'll do another copy of that, and divert the belts that are feeding the smelting we've already got, and try and do a fairly clean switch over between the old smelting and the new smelting without doubling up on resources too much. Ooh, I just realised... Actually, we can use the upgrade plan, which I haven't done before yet on this. How does that work? Do we actually get an upgrade plan? No, we don't. How does it actually work now, I wonder? I guess it just upgrades to the next tier of... Let's try it. What does it do? Okay, yeah, that's what we want to do. If we do that... Okay, it doesn't work there. Does it do anything on those? Okay, it does the belts. We have to be careful not to use the belts. I guess... Can we... Oh, can we save it? We can't filter though. Interesting. Is upgrade planner on this somewhere? It is. Alt U. I'm going to switch all of these over to fast inserters. Doesn't really matter too much. The slower inserters will still work fine. But I'm not actually storing the slow inserters anymore. I'm only really storing the fast ones. So go down and grab a few more of those. And that's just about done. Do we make room for... I suppose we'll leave space for the extra sets of smelting. So let's do... Oops, just in case. There's a chance that I'll never install more smelting, that eventually we'll move to off-site, to on-site smelting. Looks good. Just waiting for this copper to clear out and then we'll get rid of that. And we'll do the same for the iron as well, across the other side. I guess, can we just flip this? I think there's a few adjustments that need to be made at the start. Well, let's try just flipping it, see what happens. And okay. Yeah, the coal, the part where the coal comes in needs to be flipped. Actually, the whole, we can salvage most of it, but this part here needs to be redesigned. Yeah, we've got plenty of room underneath there. Don't need any of these belts anymore because we're going to have to actually put a whole bunch in to actually divert the iron and copper ore back up to the top here. Like so. I wouldn't mind getting the copper and the iron in one sort of block. So what we'll do is get rid of that. Potentially I want to have space for 4, and I'm probably not going to actually have it, but we'll make space for 4 of each type of belt. Now iron needs to go on the left side of the bus, so that means it has to go on the outside here. That works fine. We'll leave 2 space between that and the coal. Hopefully there's enough room between this and the end of the bus. The end of the smelting. Yeah, there's plenty of room there. Like so, and then make sure we leave enough room. Yeah, now that we've got personal robots, it's going to be a much quicker thing to build this out. Okay, so we've got the copper and the iron in place, ready to go. Just need to get the coal across as well, and coal is actually going to be coming in through here, and we'll probably feed it across into the smelting before it gets into the bus itself. Good. So it's probably safe to remove these ones now. Yep, all the coal's been removed from those. Yep, on both sides. Let's remove all of these. This is the old smelting setup we're removing now. I should probably put some construction robots into the base logistics network to make this sort of cleanup work a little bit quicker. I think it looks good. Yeah, so we just need to get that coal diverted. Copper's coming in, iron's coming in. We've got lots of room. I mean, this is, at most I'm going to have 4 sets of smelting at the top here. So this is the bottom of the smelting, which means we've got plenty of room to expand the different parts of the factory a little bit further up. I probably do need to get some landfill going as well, so we can landfill in some of these areas, make room for building. Let's get that coal coming in. We'll get the smelting started again. Looks like pretty much everything is plugged in there. We've got all the iron and copper coming in, coal coming across the top, and we're doing splits from that. Let's actually put priority to the bus, I think. Which is going to be this line here. Output priority left. Output priority right. I've also, the little bit of coal that was left down here, I've diverted that back around to here. And I've put that as the input priority for the coal that's feeding the iron. But I think this is pretty much ready to plug in. We've already produced a little bit of copper because I actually dumped off all the excess copper and iron that I picked up before. Yeah, let's give it a shot. Let's plug it in. Looks like we've got some backwards belts here as well. So fix that. Let's make sure the coal goes in fine. It's missing. Underground's there. I'll do that just in case we want to add more later on. That looks good. No problems there. And then we plug in the ores as well. So next time, I think what we'll do is we need to make some landfill pretty much straight away, and do some landfilling around some of these small patches of water that are near the factory, and then we'll start going through and actually shifting some of the components of the factory a little bit further up and redesigning them a little bit, just trying to get them a little bit cleaner looking. Let's turn off the overlay there, so that's much cleaner at the top. So basically we're going to go through the whole bus, make it this wide the whole way down, and then redesign all the factories. The kind of designs that I'm looking for is like the one that I've used for the yellow signs here. Nice, clean, layered designs that are easy to build. Well, actually, we'll keep that in mind as well, that I want them to be fairly easy to build so I can use them for getting started nice and quickly. Looks like everything's working there. We may extend these a little bit further, depending on if we can use a few more furnaces to actually smelt a little bit more. But I think that'll be fine, and we can add more sets of smelters if we need to as well. I'm going to leave it there for now. Don't think there's anything else we really need to do today. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.